You homeless? You homeless, okay. That is a condition that's worldwide with our people. And I'm gonna show you that's a curse, that's an evil thing, because you're God on this earth. We ain't supposed to be homeless.
Bring it out.
That's not your place in this earth.
That's right.
I'm gonna show you how God looks at you. Read that.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
But we gotta show you why you in that condition first, so you can get yourself out of that condition. Read that.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
What does the word hearken mean? Yeah. Hearken means to listen. Read it again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses told the Israelites, he said, if you don't listen to my commandments, I'm gonna curse you. Now, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing?
I guess how you look at it.
What curse? Name me one good curse. A curse, what's another word for a curse? Evil. God says, we gonna show you. We're gonna show you that another word for curse, another word for curse is evil. All right? Read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
God says evil things are gonna happen to you in the city. What's your name? Carlos. God says evil things are gonna happen to you in the city, to the nation of Israel in the city. We got what? Drugs in our communities. We got single parent households. You sitting up there, you homeless. That's an evil thing. You think that's a blessing to be born on the earth and you don't have nowhere to stay? You think that's what God purpose was for you to be homeless? How is it that you can go on one side of the train tracks and there's no trash, no abandoned buildings, no drug stores, but when you on the other side, it's clean. You know, they got Whole Foods, they got all these different good stores, but on our side, all we have is Walmart and Winn-Dixie. You don't see no damn Walmarts in white neighborhoods, and if they do, guess what? They sell organic food, and they got all other. I can tell you right now, if you go to a Walmart in Slidell versus the one on the West Bank, it's totally different. They don't even sell the same stuff that they're selling on the West Bank that they do in Slidell. That's a curse. That's an evil thing. Now read the next verse.
Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket in thy store.
So God said your basket is going to be cursed and your store is going to be cursed. What do you think that means? Think about it. What do you do with a basket? Not store it, because remember, read it again.
Cursed shall be thy basket in thy store.
So you're not using that basket to store something, but what you using that basket for? You using it to carry. You bringing it to your store. You carry it to your store to keep it, right? But God said your basket gonna be cursed. Meaning the things that you bring into your store, you're not gonna hold on to it. You're not gonna be able to keep it. That's why a lot of our people live paycheck to paycheck. That's why they have us on WIC and food stamps. Government assistance. The government likes to say that they want to help our people, but the government really wants us to rely on them. God never said to rely on, hold that, give me, that in Jeremiah would say, build ye houses. God never wanted us to rely on other nations. We were supposed to rely on ourselves. We were supposed to be self-efficient. Read that, build ye houses. Give me that. So what I'm showing to you, Carlos, is this. You are an Israelite. What'd you say?
29:5.
Yeah, 29:5. Read that.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, and verse 5. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them.
So God wanted us to produce our own food. We was never supposed to be relying on the other nations for food. Now I'm gonna show you, because what? Why? Remember I read it was a curse, right? Why are we cursed in the city? Not doing right by who? Not doing right by God. So get verse 48. Read Deuteronomy 48. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shall thou serve thine enemy.
So now God said we got to serve our enemies. Like enemy is an enemy a friend? Somebody that's against you, right? God said we got to do what?
Serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So God sent our enemies against us, Carlos, read.
In hunger.
So when we want food, where do you go to get your food? You go to the store, what store? Walmart, Winn-Dixie? Do we own any of them stores? Whatever store you want to get your food from, do we own them stores? No, we don't. Read.
And in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So God said, whatever you want, Carlos, you got to go to your enemies for it. Now I'm showing you this because in order for me to help you with a solution, you got to first understand who you are.
We need mercy. Even the brothers and sisters that have not even came into this gospel yet, that's out there doing all kinds of evil and wickedness, they need mercy.
Well, we know that hundreds of people go reported missing from the streets of Charlotte every year, and a look at the numbers show a majority of those people are black.
We're gonna do a missing person search for our brother Henry Massey. Okay, we're gonna hit the community. We're gonna ask about his whereabouts, see if the people know anything.
Been missing, gone, and they're gone into the underworld, a lot of them. Because like I've been asking the question about, with all these people being missing, how come we don't hear anything about it?
They was telling us about this guy. They said he know him from the neighborhood. His name is Helicopter. And they think somebody might have grabbed him or did something to him.
That's the second brother that say he know. He know who it is.
You never know, he could be found.
I'm showing you this because in order for me to help you with a solution, you gotta first understand who you are. Because the Christian church like to go out and feed the homeless, but they don't know who they are. It's pointless to give crackheads food. It's just giving them strength to go smoke more crack. You gotta change the mind of people first before you try to help them. And I'm not saying you're a crackhead, but I'm just using that as an example. Read that again.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So now God said our enemy was going to put a yoke of iron on our neck. When did we have yokes of iron on our neck, Carlos? When do we have, who put these yokes of iron on our neck? Who is our enemies? Who put the yokes of iron on our neck? Who? You gotta identify it. You gotta identify it. Look. Did this not happen in 1619? It did. It's history. So it ain't no reason to be ashamed. Who put the yokes of iron on our neck? White people. That's who put the yokes of iron on our neck. Carlos, read.
Until he have destroyed thee.
So they put the yokes of iron on our neck until we were destroyed. Now we walking around talking about we black. We talk about we Mexican. We hate each other. How it is that I don't like you because you wearing a red shirt and you don't like me because I'm wearing a blue shirt.
Right,
or because I say GD, you say D. We throw up all these gang signs. How I don't like the same black man. He look just like me, but when a police come through, we scatter like roaches. That don't make no sense. That's an evil thing. They put us against each other. Get verse, read verse 68.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So now God said, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt with ships. Now you familiar with when Moses said, let my people go? Now how did they get out of Egypt? They walked out of Egypt. The first time they walked out of Egypt. Now what was they doing in Egypt? Hold on and get Exodus 1 and 11. Let's see what they was doing in Egypt. I'm just looking for some of the slave pictures.
You want to
read that?
Book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasured cities, Python and Ramses.
Read verse 14.
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
So God said the Egyptians made the Israelites' life hard with what? With what?
Hard bondage.
That's the same
Bring
thing.
it out.
That's the same
Teach.
thing that we said in Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. You understand that? So go back to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. Hey, how you doing, my brother? What's your name? William? William Johnson. So what we doing is we showing who we are according to the Bible. You're not a black. You're not an African American. You understand that? God calls you an Israelite. We're gonna prove that to you. Believe in the Bible, right? You go to church? Often. So you was gonna go to church tomorrow? But if you live tomorrow, you gonna go to church. All right. So read that.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Now remember, Carlos, he said, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt. What we just read in Egypt was. Remember, we read it, he said it was hard bondage.
Hard bondage, yeah.
So read it.
Where it was. So.
Yeah, Egypt. Yeah, so read it again. He said, remember, Egypt is hard bondage, right?
Yeah,
read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Hard bondage.
Again with ships.
So this time you're gonna go into hard bondage with ships. Now how did we get to America? How we got to America? What kind of ship? Cruise ship? What kind of ship? A warship, but what kind? We was partying, was dancing, was getting drunk on the ship? Yeah, let him answer for himself. I gotta make sure he understands. You know about how ancestors got over here though, right? Yeah, in bondage. So those same people that came over here on slave ships, God said those people are the Israelites.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word.